Barbino? What's Barbino? Zeke Black is in the building. Zeke Black is in the building. Shout out to AD in the building. Doing this live, I was kicking it with Guards and King from Push That Knife, and you know, strictly strictly mentality, so, what I'm saying. My man Guards and King, he was building. And last night I was in a couple of clubhouses. I think I was someplace else. They had a video up, but before I got to ping to their clubhouse, I was in another clubhouse that had the same ping with a different sort of different title. And it was asking me about what I thought about the Rick Ross thing, not the Rick Ross thing, the Wack 100 thing, Big U thing, and I started going back and forth with certain Crips, whatever case may be. But when they pinged me, I went to that channel, like, yeah, I'm just going out with these Crips. The room went crazy. Yo, Zeke Black, da-da-da-da-da-da. So what's your thoughts on this? Now, whatever they was talking about, there can't be a thought on something if I don't know these two dudes personally. You asked me about a situation that I can only go off of the receipts. So now when I go off of the receipts, yo, Zeke, you wildin'. But I'm not wildin'. Okay. You asked me about what you think about the J Prince, or my take on that whole situation. That's how I took it. I seen the video, wherever the J Prince Wack situation. Them going back and forth. The only thing I know about is them with Larry Hoover in the media. Was the last person that played with his name, right? Not played with his name, but used his name in any context, which was Rick Ross, the rapper. There was some things that were said online. A couple of shows got disrupted in the South, and allegedly back, and in somebody's federal case, they testified and said that Rick Ross paid $3 million for that situation to go away. This is receipts, public record, that somebody said this out their mouth. So my look on it is, if this guy has these emails or these texts and he's talking crazy, it's not a B and C thing. I mean, in all reality, there's no GDs that's in the forefront that's checking Wack, or even behind the scenes, because he keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. Now, one thing we all can agree on is that Wack does not care how we feel or think about his character. He doesn't live to care about what we think. What we think is real, he don't care. So we can't go on, yo, Wack is supposed to be a real one, because he does not care. He stands on what he stands on, and that's it. He doesn't care if somebody thinks he's solid. So let's be clear in this whole context, where we're starting at. Now let's go back into Big U. I don't know Big U. The first time I ever heard of Big U was the Nipsey situation, right? But then I've heard many times that Wack, when he's arguing with these Crips, not just Big U, them Crips in Clubhouse at one point in time, he told some Crips, yeah, that's why I was arming allegedly certain Crips when it was some Crip and Crip wars. I was arming some of your OGs or whatever OGs, right? So now we got to sit back and go. So now he's sitting with a different generation of Crips on a podcast. Mind you, he's sitting with a bunch of Crips, right? A different generation of Crips. You call Big, allegedly you was called a Big U a rat. So now you got him on this platform. They're giving him light. We know all gangs and all cliques don't get along, but it's a different generation age group, right? So that don't look now, because a lot of times a lot of you dudes think, what about the business part? Nobody thinks about the business part. Some things just gotta make sense. This is how I'm looking at it. Some things just gotta make sense. If it doesn't make sense, then it doesn't make dollars. Wack 100 eats off of these platforms. This is what Wack eats off of. He eats off of this media thing. He knows about algorithm. He knows about keeping his face no matter what he does, right? Now, Big U. My time dealing with Big U. There was some paperwork put out there. Shout out to the 050 China Brim movement. Y'all could go into this. There was no response. It was just us making shows and There's a guy named Rory. Shout out to Rory. He pulled up from the store report. He was up in front, average shatter. We're going to Chop Brim, Harlem Legend. P pulled up for one of them segments. Hassan Campbell, but Hassan Campbell never said on this platform and said that anything about that paperwork. He said, "But the paperwork, I can't go with that." But he always went on how he personally felt about Jim Jones on the platform. Since we like to talk about receipts, we're gonna talk about the receipts. So now, Big U has a situation with World Star where I guess he's going city to city to city, meeting different rappers of some type of culture, some culture, hip hop culture thing. But now there's an algorithm for Jim Jones and his ratting thing. It's not. It hasn't hit TMZ. It hasn't hit Hot 97 or 105.1. But there's a lane for it on YouTube. The bloggers. Everybody's blogging it. They're sharing it. It's becoming something that's big. So in this buzz with Jim Jones being called the alleged rat, without the paperwork or the real paperwork, everybody jumped in it. Shout out to Queen's Flip, he made a video on it. You had some high-end YouTubers or bloggers that was jumping in, media personalities. Some was jumping in. Yo, the paperwork is fake. So now let's get to the get down. Big U pulls up for a scheduled meet with Jim Jones. Might have pushed the date up a little bit, but it worked. He walks through Foster and basically goes, him and Shooting Athlete, if I was telling, why would he be here in so many words? It gets bananas. He pulls up to the Bed-Stuy. Definitely aggressive to fire. Good looking. You know what I'm saying? For the $2 donation. He pulls up the Bed-Stuy. He does his 1-2s. And he pulls up with Bobby Smurden, somewhere in Flatbush, somewhere probably. This is the big crib. So now there's an algorithm for this. Now it's, yo, Big U pulls up on Jim Jones. There's 1,000 videos now. You can Google this shit. Big U comes to New York. Jim Jones ain't a rat. Boom. It's a scheduled meet and greet. Again, it's a scheduled meet and greet. Wack 100 responds to that. Remember? This is for the whole of this. Remember, he responded. While you walking in lobbies, I believe Wack 100 was somewhere in the Midwest trying to buy houses or some property. I'm buying homes and houses while you in the lobby hanging out with them. It created a reaction. So then I guess, after that, Wack goes off on him talking about, yo, he ain't in the streets like that. He wears sweatpants, he's scared to run around with a gun. He ain't trying to go back to jail. Such and such. Big U. Y'all can Google this. This is all receipts. Shout out to the 050 China Brim movement for creating that algorithm. Yeah. So that was months ago. Wack still ain't get punched in the mouth. He ain't get chased around the block. They ain't been a crip nigga who yoked him up yet. So now we're talking about the receipts. So now something goes on in the clubhouse. Somebody posted some paperwork, whatever the case may be, and they're saying that Wack 100 is calling Big U a rat. He's co-signed it. Wack says he was talking on some shit. I didn't pay that, really don't mind. Big U gets upset about it. Right? But again, if you go to World Star, some of Big U's biggest videos after the Jim Jones greeted meet, it worked for him because it became a Big U Wack 100 show on YouTube and in some clubhouses. 4 or 5 months. So the Wack, he goes after everybody, he goes in on everybody, he does what he do what he do, right? He picks that at her, he picks that at her, he picks that at her. Now he's talking about Larry Hoover. J Prince says she's a coward. J Prince that, third, boom, I got the text. He sits on a podcast because man, I feel bad about what I said about Big U. So now nobody wants to talk about Hoover now. Now they go, yo, Wack 100, Big U, yo, he apologized. He said he was wrong. So there has to be a response from the Big Crip. Of course, you got a response to that. The other response, the first one, during Ramadan, he ain't say no, he wasn't being specific. He was just talking like, yo, you got certain dudes online, it's all good, it's working out for my pockets, I got media deals in the play. That's how Big U responded to the first one. This one, he was being specific. We knew what he was talking about. Even with the phone call with Hassan Campbell, right? When he said the phone call thing, boom, 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 and Wack said he's calling Big U, whatever the case may be. We don't, that's their content. I mean, I think in my heart, unless I see something different, I think it's calculated to make some money. Like I told you, Wack does not care what you say about it. The difference between Wack 100 and Big U is more righteous. He talks, you know what I'm saying? His responses are different. Inshallah, alhamdulillah, Ramadan. Wack 100, monkey ass nigga, on Pyro, and all that other. So people are attracted to that. They're attracted to that. It's just like Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. Elijah Muhammad, he could put the movement together. He could get the crowds moving. But Malcolm X was a great speaker, a strong speaker. He had the voice that attracted the crowds. Elijah Muhammad, he was just organized. He knew how to organize the branches, put it together. He's the voice. And I need a strong voice out there. So this is what Wack 100 has become. This voice. As many, look at shit that should have got Wack punched in the mouth. Nipsey Hussle, he claims he has a tape that Nipsey Hussle was performing alternative acts. You don't think there's no Crips that's going to be upset about that? From California? On the California end? You don't think that there's going to be no Crip like, yo, on cuz, man, nigga, wow, I ain't gonna da-da-da. Nothing. And we're not going to say, oh, because Wack 100 don't be in California, yo, he be in Jersey. He was just arguing with CEO Week like a couple of weeks ago when he told him, where you at, I'll pull up on you. So he's not ducking and dodging. You ever say he's in the Great Mountains or he is in Chakawana or Lugawana or the Lagoon, but he's not hiding. And you telling me after all the disrespect that he gives these Crips, any Crip won't see him and try to put that painting on that fool? The math has to add up. Do I think him and Big U got beef? How do we know? For the last 6-7 months, Wack's been disrespecting the Big Crip. He's even called Nipsey Hussle alternative. And nothing happens to him. Y'all, you guys got to realize there's a meeting place, there's some conversations, there's phone calls being made. There's something that's being told behind closed doors between the people that got the power to keep peace. Yeah, there's gang members that got the power to keep peace. They got the power. They're not multi-millionaires, but they powerful individuals in these streets. They're not active gang members. You gotta remember, by the time most of us, not a lot of us, learned about gang culture, it was already 20 years in, 25 years in. Gang culture. Bloods and Crips was 25 years in from California to the Midwest. 25 years in. By the time we learned about this shit, it was like, oh shit, we heard about it, but now we're seeing it in the movies, right? We hear it through the music. They 25 years in. By the time we got to touch, there was gangbanging, drive-bys. By the time we heard about their gang culture, they deal with the facts. We thought the PCP thing, right? Your son smoked angel dust. He smoked that leak, right? We called it a leak. I ain't seen too many dudes dipping cigarettes in embalming fluid. They call that other shit sherm. It's all the same thing. But they called them sherm heads. Yo, don't count anything doing that sherm shit, boom, boom, boom. But that was their culture, right? And we're speaking about the culture and hip hop, right? Who was the first Blood you ever heard ever rap in the media that we heard? I would say the Booyah Tribe or Be Real from Cypress Hill. But it was the Booyah Tribe. Those were the first dudes I really seen with red flags on from that era. NWA didn't really represent the B and C thing. You just had to figure it out. They just showed us the culture, the police brutality, LAPD. You remember? What educated us was Boys in the Hood, right? Even Friday, which was a comedy movie, but Boys in the Hood, it still had a Crip influence. Men's Society, a Crip influence. Not because MC8, they showed Grave Street, they showed the blocks. It was common sense, blue flags. So while y'all sit here and go, yo, boom, 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 just look at the Crip influence before Snoop. Look at Snoop. It was there already in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? The first one I seen was the Booyah Tribe niggas. Now, the only reason why I seen them because they played them on the Video Music Box. And that was before the 90s. That was way before the 90s. See, you California niggas already had a flow with that. You gotta remember, all these major labels that we're talking about that was signing, Def Jam was just a label. Cold Chiller was an independent that went major, they got deals. Then you had the majors that's in California as well, like Capitol, RCA, BMG. Those labels also got offices in California. Yo, salute. They also have offices in these great states. Epic. So while you was going with the revolution of hip hop, the West Coast was moving along too. The only difference is that by the time we caught West Coast vibes, the West Coast already had a vibe. Eazy-E was big before. I know I heard him in New York. NWA was being banned. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? See, that's the first one you seen. The first one I seen was the Booyah Tribe. That was before 94. Because they wasn't really rapping with the gang culture and they rapped with the Booyah Tribe because at the red flag, like, what the fuck? And it was like they was Bloods. But dudes on the West Coast knew what they was talking about. Because the West Coast has a West Coast influence. Yeah, a lot of you guys don't realize the West Coast influence goes from California to the state of Washington to Seattle to all those states. That's why you got certain rappers that's big. That's bigger than your biggest New York rappers. Son from what's son name, man? From Kansas City. He be rapping mad fast. He had a whole movement. He's big. Tech 9 and 9. Because the influence in the Midwest is different. These guys already have an influence. Because the gang culture moving around. So now again, when we're speaking about Wack 1, Tech 9, exactly. It was getting to the. He's bigger than the biggest rapper you're thinking about. He make more money, and we don't know. And the reason why a lot of dudes got put on the Tech 9 is for some of y'all because he did a song with Lil Wayne. But if you was buying the Source magazine, you seen he had like 3 pages. Calico and Calico and da-da-da. Remember? What was it? Dangerous? No, what's it? Dangerous? Some type of weird record label he had, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Tech 9. So we can't act like the influence, the newer gang influence came with the New York thing, the media, and what came with the media with the push. But that Midwest, West California, that influence been there. So now again, we're talking about 2 different generations of gangbanging, arguing. Going at it. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. The bloggers thought, oh, Big U pulled up on Jim Jones. He's solidifying Jimmy ain't a rat. Remember that? The bloggers. All in all, it was a scheduled meet and greet. No disrespect, business. And it worked for all parties. Well, it worked for Big U. Because after that, The algorithm, people making videos, right? Remember that? Remember that? And Wack is feeding into that. Boom. So now we're making money. We're making some baby love off of this. He might have been, Wack would have made one too far when he called him a snitch. Because then it's like, oh shit, I can't co-sign that in the line of control I have. Because you crossing the line. That's like saying fuck your dead homies. But then Wack did basically say to some other Crip niggas, fuck your dead homies, when he said allegedly, I was arming these Crip niggas to go to war with y'all. I was arming your homies, your big homies, to go to war with such and such. Shit like that, I think, is a little bit more important than him calling this nigga a rat. Right? You know what I'm saying? And these are like they'll say receipts. So these are public receipts. This video, you could go on this. Wack 100 says that he was arming Crips. You go to war with other Crips. You don't think he should get punched in the mouth for that? How many people died in the gangbang era? And the man admits that he was arming some niggas to go to war with some other niggas, and we know that shit was really happening in these dirty, dingy streets. You want receipts, you're getting the receipts. Go to YouTube and punch that in. Oh shit, see, Black is right. Streets is watching, right? Everybody going in on Dougie B. Feed the fucking wolves is in the fucking building, man. Tired of playing. I told you, this ain't a game for a geek. This ain't a game for dudes that play word games. This ain't a game for fake smart niggas. You better catch what's real and what's media. That's what I'm telling you, and that's what I'm gonna tell you. There ain't no such thing. There's no such thing as, yo, I paid this nigga 10,000, and then 5 minutes later, yo, he's trying to sue me for 10,000. Who you fooling, my nigga? And those are the type of niggas that y'all want to listen to. Yo, it makes sense to me. You can't pay a nigga. You can't say you pay niggas 10,000, but then 2 days later, yo, nigga tried to extort me for the 10,000. Because he was articulate about it. He was well versed about it. He used certain type of words. That's just getting your kids, your babies killed, man. That's what's getting your babies killed. Like I told you, I can only go for what I know, what I see. I ain't seen nobody kidnap Wack yet. He's crossed every line. I would have never thought that he would be in a conversation with Larry Hoover. But then it all makes sense. He's a nigga that's always in the mix. He got something to offer. I would have never thought that in a million years that him and Jay Prince would be going at it over Larry Hoover. Never would have thought that. Google Rick Ross, GD's, Alabama. They went to YouTube with their beef with the nigga. Then they started disrupting his shows in states like Alabama, Mississippi. To where the record label and the management is like, yo, whoa, flag on the plate, man. This is gonna fuck with our growth. Because whatever deal he didn't fulfill behind the scenes, they made sure it happened. So now you're talking about a deal behind the scenes of them trying to do whatever the emails and the texts said, and he don't get a threat behind the scenes. He don't get thrown to the side, but he keep just talking shit. Y'all keep talking about. He calls him a rat. Yo, here we go. Boom. I got some paperwork. Boom. Why this case is sealed for? You got the paperwork from 6ix9ine. You know what I'm saying? We gotta change the narrative a little bit too much. What's good? What's good? G Walls was good, man. What's good? You can't try to make something real that's not real. So now when it's time to get real, deal with reality. Now, Big U, I think of all the shit that Wack said about him, call him a snitch was across the line, because now, like I said, you have some dudes that probably always felt that way. Yeah, some because he got around this or he got around that, but that's on a personal thing. Those are dudes that know him, that's been around him, that might have felt some shady shit. Well, he called him a rat. But Wack claims that it was a live he was in and somebody posted some shit and he was just talking. But he took something different. But he felt bad about that because somebody probably checked Wack about that. So Come on, son, you called them a rat, bro. You gotta remember, these niggas is gangbangers. These dudes is in yards going to war with things we never went to war with in our yards. How many of you niggas can say you went to the war with Aryans, dudes that specifically don't like black people in those yards? Fuck you niggas. They had to go through that. The Mexicans, the different Mexican cliques, and not just Mexicans, but those Filipino cliques, and we gotta be together here. Other than our regular B and C shit, we gotta worry about these niggas. It's real shit, man. So, calling him a rat, you did cross the line, and he realized that. But he used the right time to apologize. He could have did that shit on Clubhouse. He on Clubhouse every day. Yo, Big, you my bad, my nigga. I'ma do it with your Crips. Yeah, son, I apologize. The video's going viral as we speak. Who's talking about Larry Hoover right now? Nobody. They're talking about Wack and Big U. Big U responds, but boom, fucking son. If I see you, I slap you, or we might shake, but I'm gonna get some money off of this. I know that thing. I have 1,000 videos of my response, and that's exactly what he basically said. I know you're gonna take the video, He ain't stupid, man. This is how he eats. This is how these guys get money. That's how they getting money. In order to get money off this media shit, California always had one up on us with the media shit because of California, bro. You gotta keep that in mind, man. They always had one up on us. Paid in Full was supposed to come out back in the days. Think about this. We watched a movie called Menace to Society. It was based off of gangbanging. Remember, by the time we seen gangbanging, it was 20 years in, 25 years in. That's old school to them. What's new to us is old to them. You know what I'm saying? Niggas got 30, 40 years in the gang. 30, 40 years in the game. These niggas got their words. And we bugging, oh, shoot night, how they cops, that was Pie Rules. Why wouldn't they be? Their neighborhoods was gang related. Why wouldn't they be? Because y'all look at gang shit from your block. These niggas grew up in middle income neighborhoods that turned into the slums. Y'all don't even know a lot of them OG niggas, they all went to, one thing they had in common before prison, a lot of them all went to the same school in Inglewood. Dorsey High School. If you from the east side of LA, the west side of LA, you was going to that motherfucking Dorsey High School in Inglewood. Yeah. Now somebody that's from California, them bus rides. Y'all seen the movie The Wood, you bloody, you cuz. Remember that? Rest in peace, Raymond Washington. Rest in peace, Big Tookie. It's a bunch of gangster quit niggas. Y'all niggas keep mixing up the... You talk about niggas from across the land, from Compton and all that. We're talking about Dorsey High School alone. Jamil Saliden says, I just wanted him to do what he should do to get Hoover out of prison, whether you been to prison or not. It's the principle. And that's see, I like we're on this page. Shout out to Jamil Saliden, he's in the building. A very well-versed man. Saliden, call, yo, if you got time, man, call the show, bro. What was that? Saliden, you call on, put my number in here just in case you forgot it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we're looking at it for. You gotta keep this in mind. Kanye West was playing with Trump, being submissive, being goofy, trying to get Hoover out. Trump, under his administration, let out a bunch of New York kingpins. Unique got out. I don't know what. Boom. Unique got out, right? Mr. Lemon got out. A couple of individuals got out of the feds doing Trump watch. So why not we try to get a Hoover out? Boom. See, Harry, yo, under Trump's watch. Oh, let me put the number in, man. Because this is a good bill. It's about building. Shout out to Jamil Saliden. He was there for that. And he was there for that. OG Sonny Blanco was in the building. You know what I'm saying? That's when we knew about exactly, exactly. So we're not gonna say, oh, Trump wasn't letting niggas out and such and such, such and such, because you can't say that. He let these niggas out. They had some bodies in some of these cases. People died. Right? He tried to get Larry out. He tried to get Larry out. He tried to get Larry Hoover out. You know what? You know what? The government is mad at Larry. Forget all the gang banging. From whatever my understanding, he did some shit. He did a voting drive. He got politicians into place, and it's some alleged through rumors and gossip that the government gave him $1 million to do some shit for the community, and they allege that he used that money to fight a war and put so much drugs in the community. That's the issue with him. Somebody told me. I don't know. You niggas know the truth. You gotta remember the BDs and GDs were together at one point in time. Y'all gotta remember that. Those two different gangs. David Blacksdale, remember? Huh? David Blacksdale, I think he was the BD. Black gangster, whatever you want to call him. Black BGs or BD, BGs. Black gangsters. Yeah, David Blacksdale, the 6-point store. That's where the 6-point store come from, the David store. 6-point store. And then you had the Hoover, the Cheese, Gangster Disciples. I could be wrong. You niggas gangbang. Not y'all niggas know that Midwest shit. They got mad. I feel my heart. They got mad at Fort Jeff when that nigga went to Kuwait. No, that Kuwait. That shit. That country. That these can't have to do with the airplane blowing up. That's when they got mad. I think the government, they go, fuck that. He going all the way to jail. You know what I'm saying? What's this nigga name, man? Muammar Gaddafi. His country.
I just don't understand why the banks.
You know what I'm saying? Muammar Gaddafi. Let me get my number in there, man. Remember Muammar Gaddafi? The airline, that situation? That nigga went out there. Yeah, he went out there. Libya. That nigga was on a plot. That nigga was he was food for like 8 summers. Then he found some shit that was able to go fucking get him. It took them a long time, bro. Mind you, and for a long time, have you ever been to New York City during UN week? Them niggas be out here with them turbans. Manhattan, you see him downtown by the UN. His country, UN week. All these countries that they say, oh, they're banned again. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my man. Let's get some intelligence in here. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we miss the game with intelligence. Good number, man. You got the number right there. I got the number right there, man. Because this is where the problem exists at. People thinking about money, but let's get, yes, King David Blacksdale. When after he passed away, that's when allegedly they became one. They became the GD shit. They became one, and that's how they implement the 6-point star in recognition to King David. I'm not a GD. I don't got the G on me. I don't got the 6-point star. But that was so. These are things that was told to me over the years. Now I can't sit here and y'all got family that's BD and GD and all those other craziness. But now they hear that they banging on each other. It's crazy. People make it sound like, oh, that the BDs don't get along with the GDs. Yo, it was popping, brother. We got you. We have this is Jamal Saliden's in the building, well-versed brother. Okay, what you see was going on in the last 2 weeks involving Hoover. Who has spoken about trying to get him free?
Oh man, the last 2 weeks, you can't. You know, it's funny, but you can't go to the last 2 weeks is really looking at this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You really gotta go back to the 60s, bro, as crazy as that sounds.
Speak on it, please, because they don't know. A lot of these dudes don't know. They going by what's being told to them about Little Dirk and FBG Duck. No disrespect. Speak on it, bro. They had 20 years in before we had with that type of game culture. Please speak to them, brother.
Yeah, you gotta go to the 60s, and like I seen you putting it together, and OD Sonny Blanco was putting it together. So everybody, G Walt, he's out there in the comments putting it together, and everyone is correct. You know, this gang culture, especially in Chicago, it was a different monster, but at the same time, you know, when Hoover spoke about it, he was like, it wasn't all about just shooting and all of that, right? They had their spells, but
yes.
What really happened was Jeff Fort from Chicago, he was a part of some gang which wasn't necessarily part of the Gangs of Black Disciples. I think it was one of their rivals, El Rukin, or something like that, right? So basically, he made an announcement and said, you know what? I'm gonna do something positive with the gang. He flipped it on them, and he got the ear of a lot of politicians and stuff like that. And I guess the politicians thought it was a good idea. He's talking more positive now, and we're gonna give him some bread, right?
Yes.
Now here's the thing where I don't necessarily agree. I'm not saying I disagree. I'm not necessarily agreeing. They saying Jeff Fort took the bread.
Yeah.
And he brought
drugs, whatever, guns.
But the reason, this is why I'm saying I'm just not in agreement with that narrative off top. I've heard that narrative more than once.
Yes.
You know, it's so, to me, it's a setup. It's like, okay, yeah, we're going to give you some money, and then we're going to come back and get it Indian style and say that you didn't want to use the money, right?
Yes.
That's how I'm looking at it, right?
Yes.
And so here we got Larry Hoover, Gates' disciple. And he went that way with it, right? Because you spoke about the split, because it was Gates of Black disciples. Then they had the split.
Yeah, with disciples, they basically became one.
Gates' disciples, GDs. So Larry Hoover, later on in life, says, you know what? I want to change the GD from Gates' disciple to, I believe, growth and development.
Yes, the wording. Yep, growth and development. That's what I heard too. I heard that too. Growth and development. Yes.
Growth and development. Now, if we just thinking about this logically, because I think I heard you break this down, and I wanted to know why nobody was speaking on that too. When Rick Ross got out of line,
a little bit.
a little bit, because I like Rick Ross. Don't get I just want to set the rumors though.
Everybody hustling.
I'm a fan of Rick Ross. I like his music. I like him as an artist, everything. So I'm not up here trying to play him. I'm just reinstating history on what we've seen happen. Your man, all he did was get out of line a little bit, which was kind of like false flagging a little bit. He was kind of insinuating, you know what I'm saying, that they got him, he got him, unequivocally. And you can't really false flag no gang nowhere. You can't even false flag the 5% nation coming to the earth.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. We're being real, we're being honest with y'all right now. Please speak, brother.
Yeah, you're gonna get checked. You know what I'm saying? No matter, I've seen plenty of people. I've seen Crips. You're gonna get checked out here false flagging. Don't do it. So I guess he was, he felt like, yo, maybe I'm a superstar. You know, it ain't gonna be no repercussions. But if y'all don't remember, they put the heavy hand down so hard on Boy.
Yeah.
He couldn't go nowhere and perform. They was on his heels.
Yeah.
So if all I'm saying is this, if the head of that organization could have that much power, because I was so impressed. I'm sitting there looking at my screen like, wait a minute, they just did this in Florida, right? And the way they used to do it, they had the same opening every time. This don't got nothing to do with like, it was so uniform. I was like, it was so military that it was only one person speaking. You did not see
30 niggas.
Yeah, you didn't see. It wasn't mad talking like, yo, what up, son? It was none of that. It was like 5 people in the back, silent, and it was always one person talking, and they say, yo, you know what you got to do? Check in. I'm telling you now. I said, damn, they not playing with you, Ricky. I don't know if you did, but you need to sit down with somebody.
And I'm gonna tell you something. It's somebody's federal case from down there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It came up in the case, their case, public information. My man Crown Talk, you know he does the court case. Shout out to him and Maylene, Court TV, Crown TV. And nigga paid $3 million, bro. Rick Ross paid $3 million.
Okay.
To get that hand off his shoulder, bro. You hear me?
Okay. Hey, you see what I'm saying? It's gonna come out eventually, and I knew. See, what he wanted to do was play it cool, as any probably would. They don't want that to. They don't want that side to come out because it seemed like extortion after that.
Exactly. Every time you see me, I need to hold something. Yo, what's up? Need a free show. And allegedly, this is what I heard. When he used the name, a prominent member of the Gangs of Disciples seen him, so we impressed him. It's like, ah-da-da. And Rick Ross promised to do a couple of free shows. Something to help them out or put them in a good position, pull up, boom. And I guess Rick thought it was a game. And like you said, you become a superstar, and he began to push shit to the side. You hear me?
Right.
And out of nowhere, the iron fist came down.
But yo, let me tell you, see, can we look at the uniformity? Can we look at the
Yes. It was so organized.
It was in every state, bro. Now, I want us to be very real with ourselves. Can a lot of games do that right now?
Yes. You had niggas in Miami. You had niggas in Mississippi. It's all on YouTube. Alabama.
It was all on YouTube.
Yo, Rick Ross can't come here. Yo, talking that GD thing, singing their little song, their little thing, folks up, all that. I was like, yo, that's before I went to jail, my nigga. And that's 07. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? I was like, yo, that's when YouTube first really began popping. You hear me?
Right. Now, do we understand what type of power
That's
that
power.
is?
Where's Larry at? Is he under the jail still?
Man, Larry in Colorado, bro.
So how the fuck does this happen with a man who has supervised contact with the outside world? That's power, my nigga. You hear me?
That's power, bro. Now, being that we established that that's power, there's other people's on Hoover's case that got off on this first step act already. There's other people that already came home off the first step act.
Yes.
Sidebar, Obama tried to take credit for the First Step Act. That's nonsense. We're not giving that to Obama. Yeah. Obama didn't do enough. That's just it. That's just that. He did not do enough. Yeah. He started something, but he did not really follow through. Yes. In my opinion. And now you can't get mad at Trump because Trump came through and followed through with the First Step Act.
Yes, he did.
Which really went against that 1994 crime bill that Joe Biden helped write.
Yes.
Okay.
With the Clintons and the Attorney General and the politics who be back then.
Can we talk about that? These are the Democrats.
Yes, the Democrat. Oh.
Our parents and our grandparents.
Hillary.
They blindly vote for these people, and they encourage the youth to blindly encourage. Go ahead, we Democrats.
Yeah, help us. They're for the people. That's what they. But Trump freed Lou Hobbs, didn't he? He freed Bob Lemon. Who else got up?
Come on, Bush, pardon John Forte. He had kilos of liquid gold.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? It's these Dems, bro. The
Dems
want you in there so they can get the
So now, and I'm happy we're having this. Nestars is in the building. My man AD is in the building. Defiance. Yo, again, me. Because I hate when people want to generalize the situation. When it comes to Zeke Black, I gotta keep it to Zeke, right? I didn't know gangbanging was in 20 years before I heard of it. So gangbanging in California existed before I was born, my nigga, in 73. You heard me?
Oh, yeah. You could go back to the 50s with gangbanging in California, bro. And
Sure.
really, you could bring it up if you wanted to.
Exactly.
I mean, they already did the movie Gangs in New York. That wasn't all fake right there. That was based off real. That was based
Real
off
shit. The
Hell's
elements.
Kitchen Hell's Kitchen was, yeah, New York was about that life.
Is that right? Bowery boys, the Bowery downtown, and if you go to New York City and you see those areas downtown, you see the reminiscence of it, and you see certain cultures. Like you go to Chinatown, and you go 2 blocks down, you're in a Jewish community. You go 4 blocks down, you're in an Irish community. Definitely like Hell's Kitchen area. They started moving around.
That's a fact. But you can, on both coasts, you can go back to these gangs, man. Definitely to the 1960s.
Yeah.
So you absolutely correct. They was 20 years in already.
By the time we heard about this, Saliden. So now, well, by the time we hear about the gang culture, we're watching 2020 specials. We think they're crazy. We're watching NWA videos with helicopters. We didn't have that shit going on in New York. Helicopters flying through the projects and that gang unit. Y'all was already experiencing the gang tactical gang task force. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have that.
What I will say, bro, living on both coasts, I've lived in California. Obviously, I'm from New York.
Yeah.
Now, when I first got to California,
How old was you, Saliden?
I was 20.
Ooh.
25.
So you was at a good age. You was at a good time.
Oh yeah. I was good at age. I'll be 45 next month. So we're talking 20 years ago. I was out there.
Yes.
And I'm gonna keep it real with you. Obviously, I went. No matter where we go in New York, we have that arrogance. You know what I'm saying? And it's not really so much a show off arrogance. It could be even a modest arrogance, but it's definitely I'm from New York and we're the best people on earth.
Yes.
That's what it is. And I go out there, but I'm chilling and I'm out there making money. And the first day, I go out there. My OG from New York actually ended up bringing me out there because I was stressed out here. He came over here to do some stuff with his family. He was like, "Yo, you looking bad, bro. You coming back to California with me? I'm gonna get you back on your feet."
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Who's this?
Hey, what's good? This OG Blanco right here.
Hold on. Let me tell you when. All right, you're on the line with Sonny Blanco here. So what's going on? Now, I keep saying what you're saying.
Listen, I just wanted to get Saliden correct on one thing. It's my brother all love Saliden, but that's false statement, bro. Obama brought home mad dudes during his time. Let go mad dudes out the best. I know this for a fact because a few of my dudes came home and my enemy came home off the Obama joint. You see what Trump did? Trump played his cards well. Everything is for TV. Everything for the people. He brought home well-known people. He brought home the well-known gangsters. But the regular G's, that's out here in the streets doing what they do. They ain't got the name like whoever he brought home. The niggas came home during Obama time. Mad niggas came home during Obama time. That's a whole fact. So I can't let that one slide. I ain't saying Obama was the perfect president. None of that. I'm just saying he set it in effect and he accomplished a little bit more than Trump did because Trump brought home celebrities just to go sis dad and stuff. That's why he was rocking with Kim Kardashian on the joint and all of that. Obama brought home regular G's, homie. That's a whole fact. Salute to Zeke Black.
Yes,
salute to Saliden, the whole joint.
Salute, OG Sonny Blanco. That's my guy, y'all.
That's my guy.
One thing I respect is definitely, see, what I said was opinion. So that's my guy. And
that's good.
If anybody knows me, I'm balanced, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm never going to argue about my opinion. It can't be better than that. He just came up here with facts. So shout out to OG Sonny Blanco for that right there. So, Obama brought home people. So
yeah, he brought home some people. They may not be famous, popular, but they wasn't.
I felt he should have did more. That's what I was really putting emphasis on. That he didn't do enough, in my opinion. I didn't feel like Obama did enough. It was kind of like, he wanted to be balanced for everybody, and he wanted to show America, hey, I'm fair all across the board. But at the time, for me, too many police shootings was happening, too much racial tension, where he did not just stand down where I felt he should have just put things in perspective whether he was black or white. Because if he was a white president, I would have asked him to clamp it down during that time too. But it seemed like because he knew and consciously was black, he kind of like did a tap dance around those issues. So that was my issue there. But thank you for checking in on OG Sonny Blanco. Please go to his page and subscribe. So I get out to California, and first thing, right off the plane, I end up in a trailer with Clifton Powell, the dude that's always in the movies out in the West and all that.
Yeah.
Who's this? D-Mac from Black Wall Street. The other dude from West Side Connection.
Yeah.
I'm in the Barry Days. I'm in the trailer. I don't even know how I got it. My big homie got me around all these cats, so I'm in there, we laughing, we joking. Then right after that, he said, yo, we gotta go. We gotta go to a funeral. Yo, this is when I realized it didn't take me long to figure out this is a different culture. See, like, it's kind of, I'm not saying California is better, but I'm telling everyone to understand, if you go out there, understand it's just a different culture that is taken very seriously. So we end up at the funeral, you know, and it's like things that I see on TV, like with the big flags. And
two bags.
I'm like, yo, I thought that shit was made up.
Yeah.
Like they riding down the street in the 6-4 with the big flag. I'm like, yo, I thought this shit was made up, bro. Like I thought y'all was just putting on, just like y'all really do this in real life.
Real time,
so,
bro.
you know, that was one experience. The next experience, which was just a few days later.
Yeah.
I'm outside the barbershop. Now, my man would tell me how to dress. He said, don't wear your Yankees hat. I love my Yankees hat. You can't wear that hat out here. That's the game. Okay. I'll wear another hat. You can't wear your hat like that. Don't tilt it to the side like that. That means something. I said, what? That mean? He said, just don't wear a fucking hat. I'm like that. I'm like, oh, man, is that bad? I said, nigga, all right, cool. We go to the barbershop. I get my hair cut, this, all this, and that. I go outside. I stand outside. Nigga pulls up in the 6'4". I tried to get my man, Orlando. He tricked on the 6, right? So, I didn't know him at the time. He rolls up. He looked like the dude from what is this? The last GTA that came out. You know what I'm saying? He built like him, right? Tank top, the dickies, the whole shit. And I'm not really paying him no more, but I see him obviously at the peripheral, right? So he stops maybe, you know, I would say 30 feet away, and he's like, what's up with you though, nigga?
What?
So, this point, because of the vibrato in his voice. I'm like, okay, my best move right now is try to act like I don't hear this shit.
I just ignored him. Like, you know what I'm saying?
There's like a 2% chance he's not talking to me.
He can't be. I don't know this. I don't know this fool.
Right, I don't even know him.
We have contact.
2% chance and some prayers from God, he's not talking to me. So I just keep bobbing my head like looking out. He's like, no, you nigga, what's up with you though, cuz? Now look to the side, this nigga has the 45 out, bro.
Yeah. These niggas be on this shit for real, man. They be on that shit for
in my
real.
head, I say, no, I just got here, bro.
I got nothing to do with your politics.
I don't have nothing to do with your politics. So his brother just so happened it's the brother's, the barber's brother.
Yeah.
The barber rushes outside. Yo, chill. He just got here from New York.
Yeah.
Yo, get this nigga inside, man. You know, you niggas know we at war right now.
Yeah. See?
And that was the other thing. So the California, the way the neighborhoods are, to us coming from New York, these look like the most nice, they look like nice neighborhoods. Just like, oh, this is a dope neighborhood. But that's not how it is in real, like this is a neighborhood you get your head knocked off.
Clang, clang, clang. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't think because the lawn is manicured that, oh, this is a sweet neighborhood. No, this shit is gang infested. And when I say it's cultural, like we said, they 20 years in, so their grandparents
Parents and
was blood was Crips.
yo, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? You said that, right? Again, I mentioned this I mentioned it, but people they're yelling and screaming. They're not listening. When we speak about Bloods, let's speak about Inglewood, the importance of the Super Bowl in Inglewood, right? Inglewood, California. What was there that we knew about? The Forum, the LA Lakers and the LA Clippers. That's what we knew about, right? Inglewood. But then when we begin to watch movies like Boys in the Hood and they had the car show, that was in Inglewood. When you speak about the swap meet, Inglewood, right? But we don't know this shit. We just listen to, wow, that's a swap meet, Inglewood. But then just to hear all these old gangbangers that claim they're first generation gangsters, right? Or second generation gangsters, what's one thing they all say? Even Ice-T said it. They all went to Dorsey High School.
Yeah.
Remember in the movie The Wood, when someone said, "What you blooded cuz?" He said, "Yo, what you blooded cuz?" That culture. We're talking about school. We're not talking about breeding in jail. You know what I'm saying? We're talking.
This is not breeding in jail.
In jail. This is high school. This is high school and.
Neighborhood. Okay, so suppose you don't bang, right?
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
Islam, okay? Because he's a perfect example that I want to give y'all some type of examples. Now we all know Islam is FOI. We know that, right?
Yes.
But here's the thing: whoever his family is associated with, it don't matter if he's down with that set officially. He's down with them unofficially.
Unofficially, facts.
Unofficially, if his 9 brothers is Crip and his mother's a Crip, yo, bro, you a Crip until you say otherwise. You are affiliated with the
Facts.
until you say otherwise.
Exactly, bro. And because we're having these conversations and people are arguing, you know it's great content, but like you said, something's got to make sense. You walk at a barbershop, a nigga rolled up you at the Ford tomorrow, we at war. There's things that Wack 100 said about that coast alone will warn for him not to go nowhere where a nigga see him. He'll be what you would consider a walking target. You hear me? You know what I'm saying?
He tried to weasel his way out of it by doing interviews and giving that soft apology, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But as a man, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. It might have been better off. You see what Big U said, right? He said, "We're not cool, and you should come see me in my face."
In my face.
Because as a man, when your words got out of hand like that, you could have I'm not gonna say easily, but check this out. I'm talking about it's 2 ways, see?
Yes, it's
on phone talking shit about you. It's 2 ways.
It's 2 ways.
Up when you see me, or Zeke, where you at, man? I need to explain myself. Yeah,
Because he was wrong for that. Because like I said.
A sincere apology if I want to keep this relationship. I can't go on the movement show and try to get some soft ass.
Yo, my bad. Because you know what happened with him? I believe they was doing something. We don't know. Only thing like I told you, my only experience of dealing with Big U, because I made a video on it, was based off of the paperwork when he pulled up the Forster, and we was like, yo, that's whatever how I felt about it. You know what I'm saying? And a couple of other people that made content on it. I think what happened is, this is what I heard. I wasn't in the clubhouse. Somebody posted some paperwork with Big U in it, and Wack 100 jumped in the clubhouse, or was in his clubhouse, and he was talking. And as he was talking, he didn't say like take that shit down or he's a solid nigga. I guess they feel like he fed into the narrative of he's a rat. Now the part that's fucked up is, like I said, we don't know these niggas, but there's dudes that know him that might have felt some, yo son, fuck all the other shit you're talking about online. Son calls you a rat, bro. Like, what's the shit they talking about in Clubhouse? They got paperwork? Because remember, these dudes come from a time when dudes was going to California State Prison for 3-4 homicides, knocking over banks. He come from that culture of gangbanging. He don't come from the crack era. You hear me?
Right.
He come from when niggas was getting rid, when niggas that's in the feds for robbing banks. He come from that. So now you got people that, you know, like you said, a little sus. Yo, why would Wack call you a rat, son? And now, so he had to back Because, yo, son, out of all you do, even though you're trying to keep the dream alive, you went too far. But my thing, Saliden, is when Wack allegedly sells some Crip niggas, I used to arm your Crip niggas to go kill these other Crip niggas. That wasn't a violation itself? Fuck Big U. Not saying fuck Big U. You don't think that was a violation in itself?
I think that was a violation on major levels, including the fact that you said that out loud on a public forum.
And then saying it, yeah.
Activity, and it should have stayed behind
outside. And I guess because he was trying to explain to some Crip nigga, like, nigga, I know all your OGs and rolling 60s, whatever he was beefing about. And he was mentioning the relationship with Big U. Like, nigga, I go to his house. You can't go to Big U house and this, that, and third. So I'm sitting here and I'm going, did he just say that he was arming this nigga to basically go to war with them 8 Trey niggas?
Nah, that's out of pocket.
You know what I'm saying?
Your man might be on coke because you can't. That's just out of pocket.
That's out of pocket. So now you got niggas looking, going Big U. So how long you knew this Wack nigga? I thought you, because niggas don't know niggas' relationships. I might think, yo, he meant Wack doing some hip hop shit. You know what I'm saying? Or he meant him doing the Nipsey shit. I don't know that y'all have a pre-gang banging ties. You know what I'm saying? So you telling me a blood nigga was arming some Crip niggas to bang on some other Crip niggas?
Nah, that should have never been spoken, bro. See, these are violations,
and nothing happened to Wack when he said that. That's what I'm saying. Yo, Saliden, I don't wish violence on nobody. I'm happy for people. Somebody said to me the other day, Dougie B, what was he doing on stage? You know what I said? He was being himself. They was in a safe place. Those kids was being kids. It was weird to us, because we're not going to do what he was doing. But he got to be himself. He just happened to be high. You hear me?
Yeah.
But that's, you see them, they jumping around and it was like a bunch of kids playing in class, bro. You hear me? The only difference was in their heart, they was guaranteed that, you know what I'm saying?
Now, who's this you speaking about?
Dougie B, when they performed at Summer Jam. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Dudes just looking going, yo, because remember, these are the drill rappers, the killers. They supposed to be on stage with hot hoodies on and looking around and somebody supposed to get shot or punched in the mouth. No, these kids are kids. And the more money they're making, the more they're being kids now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And let's be honest. This particular genre of music.
It's not for the kids. It's you know.
This is the frequency that
it sells.
You know what I'm saying? You have to be a hard to speak person and just, you know, even though we had softer tones of
yes,
rap,
yes.
we've always had the overtone of the street presence there. So, but now it's even more prevalent. It's like we've gotten rid of all of the in-between and the comfortability of your Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, that's out the door. That's out the door.
They just wanted to make sure, okay, just so we clear, none of that's good. That's all I need, right? Even when it came, okay, they got rid of it for a while, it was gangster rap, and then guess what? They brought back Lupe Fiasco, and they brought back all these cats again, and guess what? They said, okay. We're getting up. Where's the broomstick, Sandman?
Exactly.
We're getting all these suckers off stage too again.
That's a fact.
We just leaving the K-Flops and the deep things
and
the FBGs, and that's all we gonna leave.
Somebody just said something, Saliden. Now look how funny this is. Shout out to Hudson Soldier. Hudson Soldier says Jomo, Jim Jones from Tab Projects, and so we're laughing at Wack. I'm gonna tell you something. That's the only person I've ever seen Wack apologize to that he actually called a rat. Was Big U. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else he called a rat to. Fucked up niggas, he's a rat, he's pussy. Yo, he haven't apologized to Nipsey Hussle's situation, even bringing his name up. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? He said, I stand on that shit that Hassan said on that, what I told the nigga. I'm not even backtracking on that. But he apologized to Big U. It is funny to laugh at. But that shows the power of something behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Let's be clear. That Hassan's ample chess move, we didn't know how big of a chess move. We thought we knew. right?
Yes.
Like, I took my hat off to him. I did a whole show on it. I gave
Yes.
you the crown, listener, Tom. I gave you the crown. That same night you did it, I gave you a
Crown.
I said you brought New York back for that. Thank
Yes.
you.
Because we was in the dirt. We was in the trenches. We was.
That chest move was so. What? Wack tried to act like it wasn't a damaging blow, bro.
It was. It was.
That might have been the good blow. Remember Mike Tyson's punch out on Nintendo, and you hit
Glass Joe? Exactly.
Yeah, that was the Glass Joe joint right there, man.
Cash flow. God. Now, you know, me and you, we're speaking from a different perspective from being older. Experiences in our life. You've been to California. You've seen their culture. A conversation I had earlier with somebody. Back in the 40s and 30s and 40s and probably the 50s and probably some part of the 60s, the mafia had their dirty hands all in Hollywood. Can I be correct about that?
That's a fact.
Even in the beginning of the cocaine wave, when new power flowers of cocaine was hitting Hollywood stage, Hollywood still, the mafia still had their hands on it. Then you have guys like Richard Pryor, guys like Rick James, that's bringing the ghetto to Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? So now, these gang members that they're bringing around are mingling with the in crowds. The in crowds are beginning to owe these gang members money. You hear me?
Yeah.
But these gang member niggas that we thinking out of blood and crip and they wear dickies all day, they're making business and power moves, and they're becoming security behind the scenes, and they're getting dudes money on the low, and they're applying pressure. And I hear there's a large gang presence behind the scenes in California, bro. You hear me?
There is. But let's be clear.
Not just bigger than security, huh?
In the industry.
In the industry, bro. When it comes to that West Coast shit, bro. You hear me? And that's before Suge Knight. I'm like, what? I was building with the.
We do it over here too, though, so we shouldn't be surprised.
It's just that we don't do it to the point.
Shout out to Blanco from Dipset.
Exactly.
Names.
Yeah, there's names that dudes they get more behind the scenes, and that's power plays, because that's one thing gang culture has taken away. Instead of me giving this Italian guy 10,000 to stay alive, I give this guy 2,000 and he gonna make sure I'm safe. You hear me? He gonna go to war with that Italian guy. Them Italian guys wanna go to war with these dudes right here. You know what I'm saying? When you watch stories of history, huh?
I was gonna say, only thing they do that I don't really see us doing like that, they turn it into a business.
A business. We keep it street.
Security guards, they start out as security and muscle
yes.
over here in New York. But the only two people I've really seen do it big like that,
like Big Joe,
Night and Wack 100, where they turn it into a real.
Big Joe, I give Big Joe some credit. Big Joe from the Dipset shit, I give him credit.
No, Big Joe. I was gonna say Big Joe.
Yeah, gotta give Big Joe.
Shout out to Big Joe. Yeah.
Now it's funny because when you on that scene, right? My cousin, he was like, "Yo, you like you gotta understand when you say downtown LA." What's in downtown LA? So I'm like, I don't know, I've never been there before. He says, you see the glamour and glitter. When you see Staples Center and see all the beautiful things that you see that they show us. Do you know once you go like 4 or 5 blocks up, the ghetto's right there, bro. You hear me? You're in Southern California. You're going towards the 20s and all this other shit. The places where they tell you not to drive. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
You gotta be conscious of where you're driving. You may end up somewhere that's. Listen, I was driving through the jungle one day. My cousin yelling at me, "Nigga, slow down!" I don't even think I'm going fast, right?
Yeah.
I'm not speeding. He's like, "Nigga, slow
down." Shout out to Gina Quinn.
You know where you at? I don't know where I'm at. You in the jungle. You gotta slow down because it's just different out here. They may think you're doing something that you're not doing.
Yo, and so now we touched on a little bit of gang culture, and I'm happy we're able to touch on this because out of all the craziness that Wack has done in the last 6 months, whatever he's been saying, this is the first time that he apologized. It was a soft apology, but he's not stupid. This nigga's gonna respond to that, and it's gonna create some money. So when they do speak, it's gonna be a behind the scenes, whatever. They even might shake, who knows, for the camera, making people happy. But yo, you're gonna make some money off this shit. Just keep talking. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Because somebody's gonna want to interview him, Big U.
They shake it up one time.
You know, they're gonna shake it up in public because that's the right now that's the biggest story now. Nobody's been thinking about Larry Hoover no more. Forget Larry because there was no pressure applied to Wack over that. See, when I said that angle, people were like, "What are you talking about, Rick?" No, that's reality. That nigga played with Larry Hoover's name in the song, and you had 30 YouTube videos. Niggas that wasn't even YouTubers. Yo, check this out. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Yo, check this out. He went to 3/4, and I think Jeezy went through some shit too. And he had to pay somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I remember Jeezy going through something too. I do, but I can't recall it right now. But you absolutely right. And when I did a video with Hocus. I call Hocus. Shout out to Hocus.
Yeah. I got to see. Yes, definitely shout out to Hocus, man. Shout out to Hocus, man.
I on my show and I'm like, all right, let's check this out, man. Because is it me or am I bugging or should he just have given up the video just because?
Oh, hold on. Somebody named Don DePaul. He said, Wack said he only apologized to a dude named Wacko and not to Big U. You see, he's changing the narrative already. You see what Wack just did? He's saying like, nigga, I ain't apologize to you. I apologize to Wacko. You hear me?
See, that's why he didn't fall. Big U didn't fall for it. He said, listen, it's not accepted anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're gonna try to play me. Play the word game with me because that's what, I'm happy with Saliden. We have to do this on your platform as well. We're gonna do a part 2 to this on your platform. I got Saturday off. Maybe on Saturday, I'm gonna go to your platform and we can further this conversation. Because you gotta understand, a lot of dudes, unless you've been to the West Coast before 1990, our first introduction to BNC shit was Colors, Boys in the Hood, 2020 Specials, Men's Society, and then NWA, hip hop, NWA, Too Short. But Too Short was from Oakland, you know what I'm saying? The Humpty Dance Niggas, Digital Underground, Kid Frost. Kid Frost was more or less the Mexicans. But really, the only other movie that was California based that had us like, oh shit, was that American Me shit, that Mexican Mafia shit. You know what I mean?
Crazy, yeah.
It was like, yo. But that was Mexican gang culture, and we're talking about 20 years. So look how organized those gangs. We keep saying that those niggas wasn't an organized gang. They look pretty organized to me. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
And when you talk about the Chicanos, they definitely been around since the 1960s. You know what I'm saying? They definitely that has been a culture, and this is why there's a difference between when we brought that over here to versus when you go over there with them.
With them, bro.
About 50, 60 years.
Yes, that's a fact. So like I said, yes.
And let's be clear, Zeke. Even down to the professional people, they've had to live under the tyranny and learn to live with gangs.
Live with gangs.
They just had to learn to live with them. So even your politicians, even when you see a politician or a professional person rise up from the ranks,
yes,
they're gonna let you know he's quick. What block they from? And
yes.
Yeah, I know the Crips very well. Yeah, they do because most of their family was probably either some form of gang member. Man, you can't get away from it out there.
Because you had gangs, like you had a gang, right? That Barry White, rest in peace, claimed. But his gang wound up turning into one of those, I believe, Crip sets or blood sets. One of those gangs that Barry White, the singer, was part of a gang. Because those gangs was like clubs, you know what I'm saying? They had a place they hung out with, whatever they did. Whatever gang he was a part of became gang culture. You know what I'm saying? They called themselves some type of name. They had different type of names. Then that Raymond Washington wave hit. Rest in peace to Raymond Washington. Yup. You know what I'm saying? Raymond Washington, you have Tookie. You know what I'm saying? You have the Rolling 60s, and for Rolling 60s, it just exploded. The 8-Trade, Neighborhood Crips, Nothing But Trouble, Grape Street, Harlem 30, all that, a lot of that came from school, Dorsey High School. Now, we gotta do this again. You know what's dope?
I appreciate you for having me up.
Sad.
Check it out. I'm gonna save your number, but let me just let you know what's gonna happen so you don't think I'm flaking. I got a second strike, so I'm on my second strike. I gotta wait 2 weeks. So after my 2 weeks is up, I'm gonna hit you up, and then I would love to do this again.
All right, 2 weeks from now, I'll put this on the calendar. So what happens when you have a strike anyway? What happens?
When you get your first strike, you got 90 days not to get a second strike. Both strikes is 90 days, but after your second strike, you only got one more chance to mess up. So both of my strikes were due to this new misinformation and disinformation, and I was trying to educate people on things that's going on. But anytime you do that now, it appears that your First Amendment right, being that the government cannot take away your First Amendment right blatantly and directly, they go through the technocrats.
Yeah.
And the technocrats, therefore, like your YouTube and Google and your Instagrams, they can just disassociate you. So
question.
It's YouTube land. So YouTube said I can't talk about it. I guess I can't talk about it.
So question. So when you have this strike, it's a week. What's the week? 9 days or 7 days?
No, the first one is 7 days to the day. The first one is 7 days to the day. I'm on my second one, so now I'm on 2 weeks, and I just scored it like yesterday. So ain't nothing flying right now. You know, a few people extended their channels to me. You know what I'm saying? And say, yo, you can rock over here. So shout out to all those people.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you know, I'm too scared to do that really on some old upload videos because I don't want to put nobody else in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? So wait out my 2
anything I would say, I'm gonna go stream you on Saturday, and we can just pull up and we can just talk about life. You know what I'm saying? Talk about something. There's something crazy happening from now to Saturday. And you know what I'm saying? This feature inside.
I always love your builds, bro. I always love you. You're like one of you, man. Oh man.
You know why? Because
I compare you to because you're such a class act, Z.
Yeah,
you're such a class act when it comes to talking, and I have a lot of fun.
Yeah, building, bro. Because
watching you get up here and build, bro. So I appreciate you.
Because somebody asked me and goes, yo, boom, you asked me a question. I can only go off of what I see, receipts. Rick Ross said some shit about Larry Hoover. That shit came up in the Fed case, $3 million payout. Okay, you can go on tour again, you good. This man talk about Larry Hoover and more or less like trying to take it, whatever that scam was, that text come out. But I'm gonna tell you what brought the information out, right? It was Hassan Cameron got these phone recordings, right? He never played the part that said what Wack had to say about Hoover or Jay Prince. So somebody jumped the gun, figuring there's some shit that Wack might have said. I gotta beat Wack to this shit. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Remember these recordings. This is you don't know what Wack said on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit. Now it seems to be who's getting more headaches over this situation. Is it Wack or Jay Prince getting a headache from the folks?
It seems like Wack.
Yeah, they Wack chilling. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? He keep talking. Then he do it. Then I heard what Wack said. He tried to reverse it. Like, yo, it's like your man telling. Like he telling. Like why? He's trying to keep Hoover in jail by him talking the way he talking. Who does that? You know what I'm saying? When you're the one that's exposing the Texas and you're exposing this, that, and the third. So you gotta watch how this one gonna play out because it seems to be Wack is not playing chess. He's playing checkers. That's why you can never talk to Wack. Wack is a calculated man. Before you talk to Wack, he's gonna text you, bro. You hear me? He gonna get you to, yeah. I'm busy, but hit me, text me. And niggas be so thirsty to contact niggas, they be texting niggas, and he probably got hours and hours of conversations with these niggas. Every nigga he exposed through the text. You notice that? That means Wack is not that accessible as niggas think, bro. You hear me? He's not.
Right.
And that's his power. I'm not accessible to you niggas. For y'all to talk to me, we gonna talk in the text.
Yeah. And that could be a perception that he wants to put out too, right?
Yeah.
Like you gonna talk me to this text, I'm very powerful, but I'm gonna keep it real. Wack, you lost your leverage because you did have diarrhea of the mouth.
Yeah, you went crazy.
You were talking too much, and guess what? Everybody asked that I co-signed what Hassan did. You goddamn right.
Hell yeah, that was dope. That was a masterpiece.
It's like asking yo, there was a fight in the yard. You co-signed him throwing dirt in his face. You damn right.
You damn right. He did, yeah.
To go down. Okay.
Now, Saliden, I gotta go. I appreciate everybody that pulled up. I'm on Wednesdays. I got the day off before wife come home from work. I'm gonna do these videos, some lives. I got one Saturday morning cover. If you wanna pull up, we can pull up. Cause something that happened was crazy from now to Saturday. We're just touching on. Shout out to Garza King from Push Saturday. A conversation that we was having earlier in Clubhouse. It was a great conversation. It was a good build because some things make sense after a while, right? Think about all the movies that we seen before I go, right? Okay, boys.
Shout out to King, shout out to P too.
Exactly. Shout out to P, my man P. You know what I'm saying? P, you know, unstrictly mentality. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to P, BX Bubba. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. Saladi. Our first visuals, right? Some blood and crip shit, right? We seen Boys in the Hood, right? These was Crips. It wasn't, even if you know they was Crips, they was Crips. You know what I'm saying? Because just telling by the movement, the lingo, who was shooting at them. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Then you had Menace to Society. Crip base. Crips. Colors even had some parts where Son Crip. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
Yeah.
The Crips. So that goes to show you there's a reason why media-wise they always showcasing Crips more than anything else.
Yeah.
If you watch these movies, even in Setup, remember the movie Setup? Was it the bank robbery shit with Queen Latifah and them? Them Avalon niggas, they were supposed to be Crips. So what's the Crips power in Hollywood, bro?
Yo, Crips power, and as you saying that, I just want to, Crips power in Hollywood and in music seems like it has a different force behind it than the Bloods. You know what I'm saying?
It has to because when you think about it, Master Society, was there Bloods in it? Yeah, the dining situation when he rolled up with them fools and he shot Son and all that, those are supposed to be the Blood niggas that stole the rims. But you had to know gangbanging to know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You had to, oh shit, Boys in the Hood, you had to know it. But you know what I'm saying? They showed Great Street. Great Street, that's a Crip set. They didn't show another block. Really, they just showed location. So you're sitting here going, so there's a power in the Crip algorithm before Snoop got there. We're talking about way before Snoop got there.
Way before, yeah.
You're not gonna say Snoop did it.
We don't know how high. Who's the two? I don't want to put that on them.
That's his name. Mike Concepcion was in Hollywood.
It goes up.
Exactly.
Because it's really, like I said, culture over there. So it could be professional people over there that when they get off of work, they ain't going out gangbanging. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, they hanging out with
They consider themselves, when they let their hair down and all that, they're gonna let you know, please, man, I'm from, you know where I'm from.
I'm from such and such.
I'm maybe in Beverly Hills now, but y'all know where I started.
Yeah, I started.
They're gonna have that affinity back to the hood, and they honor that. Somebody's honoring it because, like you said, the presence of the Crip support in Hollywood and in music, let's just say entertainment, is nuts.
We had Cypress Hill, right? We all saw it. They was just some wild Mexicans. Then find out Be Real was blood. Oh shit, what? Remember, the Booyard tribe. We seen them. Oh shit. But the Crip niggas, Easy E and them, Lokes, all that shit. We started to listen to their music and began to realize what the fuck they was talking about. By that time, it was all in. Ice Cube. Now, people only talk about Ice Cube and NWA. Let's talk about King T. King T had a strong movement out there. King T pushed out the alcoholics, Exhibit in them niggas.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Before we heard about Digital Underground, we heard about Dale the funky homo sapien from Oakland.
Right.
We heard about them first, then Too Short, then Humpty Dance niggas, all that Bay Area, MC Hammer and all that shit. Those are the records I first heard. So now again, we're breaking this down from what I know. So gotta keep this in mind. This is that culture. This is that culture.
Yeah.
They 20 years in. Remember, 20 years in already.
Yeah, that's all I would love for New York to keep our culture. You understand? Let's keep our culture.
Our culture, bro. Because they culture, in 20 years in, they begin to make better moves. Okay, we got to do this. We got to become security. Boom. Rick James and them niggas. That whole crowd, at some point, was hanging out with gangbangers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I know I don't want to be long-winded here and keep you here hostage. You know what I'm saying? I got to do something with wifey. It's a good family day. It's 100 degrees here in St. Louis. Shout out to wifey, Southern Belle. Thank you for everybody that pulled up to the jump off. You know what I'm saying? Just watch what you say about people, man, part of people. Don't call nobody a snitch and not think that, you know what I'm saying, there might be a consequence to that. You know, remember, Wack 100 doesn't care about his character when it comes to us. He doesn't care what we think about him, what we say about him. And that's his power. I don't know, behind cameras he might cry, but on camera, he act like he a strong man. Like I said earlier, Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X. The difference between them is Muhammad knew how to run the machine. Malcolm X was a great speaker. You hear me?
Right.
That was the power in that situation to me. You hear me? And when he passed on, who became the voice of the nation? Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan took them to become a multi-million-dollar operation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With that being said, salute to the people. Salute, peace to the Bronx. Peace to East Harlem, Washington Projects. Peace to St. Louis. My man Keith Rucker Jr. at the barber shop on Kings Highway in Terry Ave. Yo, let's just take a day of us not trying to kill each other. Have fun, be normal, go to the museum, go for a walk in the park. Be normal, party people, you hear me? Let's not put ourselves on harm's way today. Better yet, keep your kids from getting shot at. With that being said, we love y'all, you heard?
Love y'all.